The morning of Tuesday, September 11th, 2001, dawns clear over New England. From the runway at Logan International Airport, United Airlines Flight 175, a Boeing 767 bound for Los Angeles, accelerates down the asphalt. The sun reflects off the silver fuselage. No one, neither the 56 passengers nor the 9 crew members, imagines that in less than an hour their flight will become the most watched and terrifying in modern history.
Another one just hit the building.
It takes off at 8:14 a.m., just 16 minutes after American Airlines Flight 11 departed from another terminal. In seat 2A sits Captain Victor Saraceni, a former Navy pilot with a calm voice. Beside him, First Officer Michael Horrocks, a father of 2. Among the passengers are executives, tourists, an off-duty flight attendant, and 5 men with Saudi passports: Marwan al-Sheikhi, Fayez Bani Hamid, Mohand al-Shehri, Hamza al-Ghamdi, and Ahmed al-Ghamdi. For them, takeoff does not mark a beginning, but the culmination of years of preparation. The air is smooth at 9,000 meters. The Pratt & Whitney engines roar steadily. From the cockpit, the coast of Massachusetts fades into the Atlantic. Passengers order coffee, adjust their headphones, flip through newspapers. Flight attendants smile, unaware that the 5 men strategically seated are already watching every move, waiting for the signal. Meanwhile, at Boston and New York control centers, routine continues without incident. No one suspects that 2 identical trajectories, 2 Boeing 767s, have just taken off minutes apart, both loaded with enough fuel to cross the country, and with a purpose far darker than carrying passengers. The calm in the cabin is almost perfect, and that makes it even more unsettling because the greatest horrors often hide behind normality before they strike. At 8:42 a.m., United Flight 175 reaches its cruising altitude, 31,000 feet over New York State. From the cockpit, Captain Saraceni confirms a stable heading with Boston Center controllers. Everything appears normal, but just 5 minutes later, sudden silence fills the frequency. The controller calls, "United 175, confirm altitude." No response. He tries again. Silence. Within seconds, radar shows a slight deviation southward, then a sharp turn. The plane veers off its route to Los Angeles and begins an unexpected turn toward New York. Controllers exchange uneasy looks. Some assume a navigation error or a temporary loss of communication. However, the coincidence with American Airlines Flight 11, which has just vanished from radar, sends an instant chill through the room. Inside the Boeing, the first signs of hell erupt. Later testimonies and phone recordings describe how the hijackers rise from their seats with swift movements, knives in hand and pepper spray hidden under clothing. Marwan al-Sheikhi, the most experienced, rushes toward the cockpit as one of his accomplices stabs a flight attendant. A passenger tries to intervene but is violently subdued. Chaos explodes in seconds. Screams, shoving, slamming doors. The captain tries to transmit an emergency code, but the attackers have already breached the cockpit. From that moment, no one ever hears the pilot's voices again. The hijackers lock the door, change the transponder, and turn off the radio. To the outside world, United 175 has just vanished into thin air. Only a green line on radar moving erratically southward betrays that something terribly wrong is happening. And in the skies of the American Northeast, confusion begins turning to panic. At 8:50 a.m., the control rooms in Boston and New York are already in chaos. Controllers exchange data. A plane has just struck the North Tower of the World Trade Center.
Of the World Trade Center. CNN Center right now is just beginning to work on this story.
No one yet knows if it's an accident or an attack. Amid the confusion, another radar blip, United 175, begins descending sharply, performing maneuvers impossible for a commercial aircraft. Controllers try to reach it unsuccessfully until a voice cuts through the frequency, accented and determined. "Nobody move. Everything will be okay. We are returning to the airport." It was not the crew, it was a hijacker. Inside the plane, terror is absolute. Passengers like Peter Hansen, Brian David Sweeney, and Amy Jarrett managed to call by phone. The recordings show forced calm. Hansen calls his father. "Dad, they're killing the pilots. People are hurt. I think the plane is heading toward New York." Sweeney leaves a message for his wife.
Jules, this is Ryan. Lives on an airplane that's been hijacked. If things don't go well, it's not looking good. I just want you to know I absolutely love you. I want you to do good. So happy to time. Same to my parents and everybody. And I just totally love you, and I'll see you in Chester.
Amy's voice, a flight attendant, sounds strangled as she describes people stabbed and blood everywhere. From the cockpit, Marwan Al-Shehi takes control. He isn't a certified pilot, but trained in simulators in Florida. He puts on the headset and performs maneuvers that no controller can comprehend. Tight turns, violent climbs and descents, as he adjusts course directly toward Manhattan. On the monitors at New York Center, a supervisor murmurs, "My God, another plane is turning toward the city." No one knows it yet, but dozens of TV cameras are already trained on the smoke rising from the North Tower. In minutes, the entire world will witness what is about to happen. The green radar line approaches Manhattan like a silent sentence. Passengers feel the air compressing against their bodies. Some pray, others scream, others simply hold each other in silence. The final seconds are captured in phone calls that end abruptly. "We're heading straight for a building," Peter Hansen manages to say before the line cuts. In the cockpit, Marwan Al-Shehi pushes the throttle forward, leveling the aircraft just before impact. At 9:03:11 a.m., United Flight 175 crashes into floors 77 through 85 of the South Tower of the World Trade Center. The explosion is brutal. A fireball tears through the building, ejecting metal, paper, and bodies into the air. Jet fuel turns the floors into instant infernos. Thousands in lower Manhattan witness live what the first viewers thought impossible. It wasn't an accident. TV cameras already focused on the North Tower capture the entire scene. Millions around the world watch as the second plane hits and the tower is engulfed in flames. In the air, controllers freeze before their screens. Another impact. "It's deliberate," one whispers. The Pentagon goes to maximum alert. In less than 20 minutes, the sense of global aviation safety collapses. The Twin Towers are no longer just financial symbols. They are now the epicenter of a wound that will scar a generation. The clock strikes 9:59 a.m. when the South Tower begins to give way.
This is as close as we can get to the base of the World Trade Center. You can see the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the two towers. A huge explosion now raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way.
The beams, weakened by United 175's fuel fire, bend slowly before collapsing with a deafening roar. In barely 10 seconds, the 110-story building implodes, raising a cloud of dust that swallows all of lower Manhattan. People on the streets run covered in ash. Others stand frozen, staring at the empty sky where moments earlier a plane full of people had flown. There were no survivors from Flight 175. The calls, the last gestures of humanity, become fragments of memory within collective horror. The firefighters who entered the tower, the officers who tried to rescue the trapped, all perished in the collapse. The images travel live across the planet. A second impact, a second collapse, a second confirmation that the world has changed forever. Hours later, the passengers' names begin to circulate. Ordinary people. Executives, families, a 4-year-old girl named Christine Hansen traveling with her parents. And the 5 hijackers, members of Al-Qaeda. whose mission had been meticulously coordinated with 3 other flights. Osama bin Laden's plan had worked with terrifying precision. Subsequent investigations reveal how the terrorist bypassed aviation security of the time with knives and box cutters, items then permitted. They also expose communication failures between agencies, gaps in the military response, and the absence of protocols for simultaneous hijackings. But amid the devastation, something stronger emerged, a collective determination to ensure it would never happen again. In the years that followed, civil aviation changed forever. Reinforced cockpits, stricter screening, shared intelligence. And every September 11th, United Flight 175 remains remembered as the image that split history in two, the morning when New York's sky turned to fire. If this video moved you, the next one will shock you even more. We analyze all the events that led to the tragedy of Air Transat Flight 236. Click here. See you there.